in Marvin Mountain with me. Tonight I'm going to make a stir fry. I've had a big hankering for some Asian food lately and Chinese. I begged my husband to go get me egg rolls last night, but I really didn't need them, but I really wanted them. Anyway, so tonight I'm going to make a stir fry and I'll just walk you through the process. I'm pretty much throwing in whatever I want in it. I don't have a recipe I follow necessarily, but I do have some celery, some carrots, some green onion tops. I think they're pretty flavorful. Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, Brussels sprouts, a red pepper, bok choy. Oh, I love bok choy. I have some green onions that I've already chopped up. I'd like to buy them from the store and chop them, put them in a jar, and then they're always ready. I have bean sprouts, bamboo shoots, water chestnuts, and whole baby carrots in cans. I have some salted seaweed, which we have never tried before, but I got this at the Asian market, and it's refrigerated, so I thought I'd throw some of that in there. I also have my sesame oil, my light and dark soy sauces from the Asian market, and some avocado oil to cook the chicken in. So I'll just kind of be chopping and preparing. I do need to grab the garlic out of the refrigerator and the ginger out of the freezer. So I like to get fresh ginger and peel it and chop it and then stick it in the freezer, and then you can't get the lid off because it's frozen. And then I just thaw it a little bit and scrape off what I'm going to use and chop it some more. So we're just going to let that sit there to get a little bit more loosened up. And we will get going on some other things. I have one cutting board for meat and one for vegetables. Never use the same one for both. That's just germy. I have my Butcher Box chicken thighs. No antibiotics, no hormones. Really nice meat that they have. You can customize your box. You can change it up, get different things each month. They have specials. I really like it. It's a good quality product. Comes right to my door. And I like that. I hate to shop. Absolutely hate to shop. I like to bag anything that's disgusting, like meat products, before I put them in the trash. I just don't want all that stink, and in the summer it can get maggots, and that's never a good thing. I like to clean off some of the extra fat off of my meats. I don't like all that in there, so I just use my scissors. I am going to brown this chicken in some avocado oil. Avocado oil has a higher smoke point than olive oil, and I think it has some good nutritional benefits as well as olive oil does, but I have less tendency to burn it than I do with olive oil. So I'm just chopping this into little pieces, bite-sized hunks. Today I was working on a little sewing project, cutting some squares and that sort of thing. I also wrapped my daughter's birthday present. Her birthday's in 2 weeks, and I have this whole basket of stuff, all kinds of things. I can't tell you what, just in case she watches the video, but it turned out really cute, and I am a horrible package wrapper. I don't get things even or straight. I can't cut a straight line. That's what they make rotary cutters and rulers for. But I think it turned out cute, and I'm really happy about that. So hopefully she'll like it. She's gonna come over for lunch that day. She lives right behind us. So she could just walk up. All right, I'm gonna throw a little avocado oil and the chicken in the pan. I bought this copper skillet on Amazon. I love this thing. It's not a wok, but it's really great. The heat is very evenly distributed, and I really enjoy cooking with this. So I'm gonna just put this on the stove and hope that I don't forget that it's there and burn it up. Then we'll just start washing some of the vegetables, getting them ready to chop up. And we have chickens, so they are going to get the carrot peels and anything left from the bok choy, the Brussels sprouts, etc. I cooked them some Brussels sprouts the other day, just boiled them a little bit to soften them up. It was the first time they'd ever had them. And boy, they must have loved them because they were gone. Snack time. They love their snacks. And whatever I don't give to the chickens goes in the compost and will go on the vegetable garden for fertilizer. We have to be really careful with chicken poop. It's very high in nitrogen, and so you have to have a good ratio of other stuff in there with it, and you have to let it sit. I put lime on it occasionally, and I use Green Pig Accelerator, Compost Accelerator. It's a natural product. It puts some bacteria in it, in the compost. It's good for the, help break it down. So we'll see how that works out this year. We keep changing how we're doing our compost because we just really weren't sure what we were doing with it and where we were going to put it. So I think we finally have that figured out. Now I'm a little bit fussy with the chickens because 9 chances out of 10 are I could cut this end up and give it to them, but I don't. I don't know. I just kind of feel like if I don't want to eat that, they don't want to eat it. I know, they're chickens. I get it. I totally get it. But I just like to be careful. I feed them all organic, non-GMO. We've had some good eggs. The eggs are really delicious. I never even held a chicken until we got ours. I have no idea what I was thinking. But at this point, with the price of eggs, I'm really happy I thought it. So we have 6 girls and 5 different breeds. We're averaging 4 eggs a day. Right now, a couple of my girls are having circadian rhythm issues. Their internal clock is off and they're dropping eggs at night. And they were landing on the roost board and breaking. So I came up with a little cushion mattress type thing to try to help that, to stop that from happening, which has worked for the last 2 days. Hopefully they'll get their internal clocks reset soon. They're young and the weather's weird and it's dark early, and I added an hour to the time on their light inside the coop to see if that would help. And it didn't the first night, but like I said, I saved a couple eggs this week, which was good because I was losing 2 out of the 4 every day, and I was about ready to cry. So I've got some carrots chopped up. Oops, threw some on the floor. I'm kind of a slob in the kitchen. I'll get some Brussels sprouts here. Clean this off. Those pieces in there. And I will chop this up for the chickens even more than what it is now, because chickens don't have teeth, and so they have to just peck at everything. As you know, you see chickens pecking all the time. Well, that's because that's how they pick things up, with their mouth. And they have to throw it back to go down their throat so they can eat it. So it's best if you chop up things so that they can get it down easier. So that's what I do. Like I said, I'm a picky chicken mama. And it is raining out here in Michigan, and I hear my chickens starting to sizzle over here on the stove. Take a quick peek at that. Just gave that a little stir. I wish I could take the camera over there with me, but I'm trying to learn how to get all this organized. And Hubbers set the camera up for me for what he thought was the best angle. And I didn't think about the stove. Oh, that's my fault. Okay, let's just chop these up a little bit. I never liked Brussels sprouts until our son took us to a restaurant and they insisted that I get the Brussels sprouts. And they are in a balsamic reduction. Holy cow. I could have eaten pans full. They're so delicious. So I have learned to eat Brussels sprouts. I guess it's all in what you do to them and how they taste. So I learned that a few years ago. And now whenever I see Brussels sprouts on the menu somewhere, I choose that as an option because my goodness, don't we all get tired of broccoli? All the restaurants have broccoli or canned green beans. Ugh, I hate canned green beans. They're so salty and so gross. Okay, there we go. Let's get that in the bowl. I'm going to make a big pan of this. There's only 2 of us because we're empty nesters. Kids are grown, grandkids are almost grown. That makes me sad. But I want leftovers. I want leftovers for lunch. Get some of this for the chickens. All right, got some little spots on there, but I think it's just the way it is. We'll see. I also have videos of my chickens on the channel, and my husband just got a jointer planer, and today he and his friend got it all set up. They had to make a whole bunch of adjustments to it before they could even run a piece of wood through it. So they got all of that done today. He's been working on this thing for over a week. And then they ran a board through it, a board that he showed me it was cupped and bowed, and now it's perfectly smooth and is now a usable board. It's pretty cool. I wasn't quite sure what this thing was going to do, but it's pretty cool. So we'll be making some videos about that too, for those of you into the woodworking thing. And some sewing videos. I like to quilt. I'll be doing some of that as well. I just got a new sewing machine for my birthday. My husband spoiled me. I have to stir the chicken. All right, chicken stirred. He spoils me at Christmas and my birthday all the time. And we had, just by chance, found a new sewing store, well, new to me sewing store. He discovered it, and we went in there one day, and we were looking at the sewing machines, and I was looking at one, but he thought it was too similar to what I already have, and being the salesman that he is, except this worked in reverse, he said to the woman, well, what would be the next step up? So she showed him, and we had gotten there like 15 minutes before they closed, so we didn't really have a lot of time to look at it, but she showed it to us, and I was like, wow, that's really amazing. It's a pretty cool machine. It's a Bernina, and I have a Pfaff. I also have two Husqvarna Vikings that I purchased used from an estate. They're pretty sweet machines too, but they're basically for embroidery, and I don't embroider, but they work great for just stitching, and I do like them both. They're very sturdy machines. They're good quality. So anyway, back to the Bernina. I went back on another day. Well, I found out that they could service my Pfaff, and it needed to be cleaned and oiled and all that jazz because it hadn't been done, and I had done a lot of sewing. So I took my Pfaff in and had him look it over, and I asked her if I could check out that machine some more. So I did, and I was like, oh my gosh, the thing is magical, absolutely magical. So turn that off. I told Greg, I said, the thing is amazing. But we just, it was like, we're just not quite ready to dump that kind of money. So we waited a little bit, and then on my birthday, which is the day after Christmas, nasty day for a birthday, nasty day for a birthday. He said to me, Ginger and I, Ginger's our little dog, we would like to get you that sewing machine. And since I'm kind of the one who handles the finances, he handles the investments, I handle the day-to-day stuff. He said, but we need to make sure we can work it out. So he took me on my birthday and got me the sewing machine. So it's a Bernina 770 QE, and it's the Cafe Faucet edition. And it's got flowers all over it. It's really colorful. It's really pretty. I love it. That was kind of a bonus, the flowers. Never thought. Anyway, this is a pretty sweet machine. So I'm learning to use it. It takes time. And I have to go back in to get taught how to maintain it. And the store is really great. It's so fabulous in Portage, Michigan. And Heidi is the one that helped me. And she's just amazing. She went over everything. They made sure before I left with it that I could thread it, wind a bobbin, put the thread in, put the bobbin in, figure all that out, know how to start it, stop it, get it going. And then she wants me to come back, schedule a half hour and come back and go over all the maintenance with me. And then anytime I need some help or want to go over things with her, I just call and schedule an appointment for half an hour, and she'll do that with you. And then they also want you to bring it in close to the 1 year point that you've had it, and they'll do a cleaning. So she really stands behind everything. She even gives you a little paper that says, this is what I promised to do for you, which I thought was pretty cool. Anyway, highly recommend them. So fabulous. In Portage, Michigan. And it's a little tricky to see because they're sort of toward the back. But definitely worth checking out if you're into sewing. And they have some fabric too. So that always trips my trigger. I'm a coloraholic. I love color. I love fabric. And that's what I love about stir fry. Color. Look at the colors. Okay. The chicken is basically cooked almost all the way through, so I turned the heat off. I'm going to get these cans of bamboo shoots, bean sprouts, water chestnuts, and whole baby corn opened up. I'm going to scrape up some of that ginger out of that jar that's frozen, get that in here, get some garlic thrown in, and we'll go from there. So I'll be right back. Okay, I moved the camera over to this side of the kitchen where the stove is, And I've got the chicken going. Again, I hope you can see that okay. I opened up all the cans of the other vegetables and rinsed them. I accidentally bought the whole baby corns, and so I chopped those up into 3-4 pieces each. This chicken will finish cooking while we have it in here with the other stuff. I'm gonna put that on my dual burner. I splattered all over the stove. I'm a slob just an absolute slob in the kitchen. I've got my soy sauces, light and dark. I didn't even know there was such a thing. If you don't like soy sauce or don't want to use it, you can always use your liquid coconut aminos, any brand. Really, I've bought different brands. This is Bragg, the one that people use for the apple cider vinegar. But I've had other ones. You can get that on Amazon if your local stores don't have it. But usually a good sized supermarket will have those. And I also picked up some rice sticks to put in here. And these are a real indulgence for me because being diabetic, I'm not supposed to have a lot of carbs. And these have 45 carbs per serving, which is 1/3 of a cup. However, the rest of this meal has basically no carbs. So we're gonna be okay that way. Puppy's barking in the background there. I don't know what her deal is. But I'm gonna throw some of this stuff in here and get it steaming up. Cooking away. Whoops. Told you I was a slob in the kitchen. Spilled it right out of the pan. Good thing my stove is clean. I can just pick it up and throw it back in. And of course I have too much for my pan because that's how I operate. Throw in some of this soy, stick a little liquid in there. Don't ask me the difference between light and dark. I have no idea. I had another recipe that I was making and I needed light and dark, and I had to go to the Asian grocery store and get it. So the other recipe turned out delicious. So I'm hoping this one will too. Now I have sesame oil here. You don't cook in sesame oil. It has a very low flash point, so you don't cook in it. At the end, when this is done, we'll drizzle a little bit over the top, stir it up, and that'll give, oh my gosh, the aroma will be amazing. So we're just gonna let this do its thing for a while. And I'm gonna try to stir it without spilling it all over. Look at the color. I told you I was a color freak. Ouch. I love color. I love color in fabric. I love color in a house. I love color in my food. And the more colors you have in your food, the healthier it is. So we're just gonna get this all mixed up here, let that steam. I'm gonna put a lid on it. The rice noodles need to soak in warm water for 5 to 8 minutes, and then we can saute them. I'll probably grab another pan for that because there's no way they're gonna fit in this pan. And I put the ginger in there and the garlic as well, so we'll see how it goes. I'm not gonna put that seaweed in until towards the end because I have a feeling it's already pretty soft. So I'm just gonna let this sit for a bit and we'll come back to it. This is coming along very nicely. As you can see, it's bubbling. You can probably hear it. And the color is just getting even more enriched. So it's coming along really good. One thing I did want to note is if you use soy sauce, Soy sauce does not need to be refrigerated after it's open, but if you're using the coconut aminos, you do need to refrigerate that, so don't forget that. You don't want it to go bad. So we're just gonna let that simmer, and I'm going to get my husband to come in and cut the pineapple. We're going to have fresh pineapple with this meal. I like to serve fresh fruit with every dinner, and I thought with Asian, pineapple sounded really good and refreshing, and cool and juicy. So I'm gonna go grab him, and we'll be right back to do that. Here's all the leftovers chopped up and ready for the chicken, so less waste and everything gets used. And here we have my able-bodied assistant, the husband, and he's going to cut this pineapple. I bought this gadget on Amazon, and he didn't think it was gonna work, but it's the slickest thing ever. So it makes cutting a pineapple really easy. So tell us what to do here, husband.
All right, we're going to take the top off first. Get down to where we have that.
Okay.
This
Hopefully
you
it's a
can
good pineapple.
plant in the garden.
Liar. You're not planting that in the garden in Michigan.
So you take this little doodad here, and it's got measuring stick on it. And you take it down here, and you can see what the measurement is. So this is a fairly big pineapple. So it's going to take almost the whole thing to 14 inches. So I'm going to put this T-handle on.
Oops.
And then you take and set this right in the middle. And push it down a little bit, and then we're just going to twist it.
Okay. Sounds easy enough. And hopefully I chose a pineapple that's good. They were on sale for $1.99 at Fresh Time. I thought that was a good deal, especially in January. See, I think it takes a little muscle to do this.
Here we go.
That's why I like him to do it.
Going down.
It's going down.
So then the idea is that you're supposed to be able to measure it on the gauge when you get down far enough.
So you don't go through the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, gotcha.
But I'm kind of going crooked here, and that's not a good thing.
Well, I'm not going to use the pineapple outer part for a bowl tonight, so it'll be okay. But we could, that would be fun.
Going crooked, that's not good.
That's because I made you get on camera. And again, remember to use a cutting board that's for fruits and vegetables that you don't use for meat. You don't want to cross-contaminate.
By going crooked, it comes out the side, and that's not
a
a
problem.
good thing.
Just don't cut your fingers off.
Nope. Should be getting down there.
Are you watching your measurement?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Here we are.
A lot of juice coming out.
Yep. Might have gone just a tad too far. But here we go.
You got a big crater in the side. And look at that. Is that not slick or what?
What do you think?
I think it's amazing.
Take that out. And then
Look at that. Sink. It just poops out the core.
there you go.
Nope, you're not quite done.
Oh, I'm not done?
No, remember? You've got that other thing.
Oh yeah. And you take this handy dandy thing and you line up the center and voila.
Oh, look at that. Amazing.
You've got all your little cut pieces.
Beautiful. Thank you, dear.
There you go.
Now that our pineapple is ready, I'm back over here at the stove with the stir fry, and I just put the seaweed in, and I want to show you this. This is the seaweed in the bag, and it said salted seaweed. Holy cow, look at that. Can you see that? That is salt. So needless to say, I rinsed it and I chopped it up, because wow, I don't particularly want that much salt in my body. I would swell up like a blueberry, retain water like crazy. That's not healthy. I don't know why they do that. I don't know if that's just a preservative and you're supposed to rinse it off. I really have no idea. There is nothing in here that tells me. The wording here is in, I don't know what language. And back here it just says seaweed and salt, imported by Ree Brothers from Hanover, Maryland, Korean farm in California. But it doesn't tell me anything, so I have no idea. And then I decided I am going to throw the rice sticks in here, and I broke them up before I put them in the warm water a little bit. They're really, really long. And I'm just gonna throw them in here, stir them up for a second, splash on that sesame oil, and we should be good to go. The rest of those noodles. You know, those cooks on TV like Julia Child and Rachel Ray, and they have all those prep people that do all the messy stuff for them. Now, this is real life. I don't have that sort of luxury. Let me turn this down a bit. Try to get the noodles worked in. And that'll only take a few seconds for those to get sauteed enough. And the husband's getting hungry. He said, "So how is this dinner coming?" I said, "It's coming." Good things take time, you know. I have a sink full of dishes. But the counter's wiped off. The recycling is out into the Herbie. That's not too bad. I listened to my mother when I was growing up, and she said, if you clean up as you go, you never end up with a big mess. So kind of like cleaning your room, our rule with the kids was always, everything has to be put away before you go to bed. You don't leave a giant mess and go to bed. If our son was building Legos, it was all right to leave the buildings and things up as long as there was a fire path from the bed to the door. But I'm pretty picky about not having stuff all over. I don't like mess. I don't like clutter. I keep putting my finger on the edge of this pan, burning it. Hi, baby. Here's the puppy. She's not so much a puppy anymore. She'll be 5 this month. That I just can't believe. I don't know where that time has gone. All right. I think this is looking good. I'm going to give it a splash of sesame oil, which I wish you could smell. Oh my gosh. Smells lovely. Just give it a little splash over the top and call it good. All right, thanks for watching. This is Marvin Mountain, and we're gonna dig into this dinner. And check us out for some other videos, and if you enjoyed the video, please click like and hit subscribe. And the next time I put something up, you'll know. Thank you. Have a good night.